people to dissolve the political bands which have connected them with another, and to assume among the powers of the earth the separate and equal station to which the laws of nature and of nature's God entitle them, a decent respect to the opinions of mankind requires that they should declare the causes which impel them to the separation. We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights...
Can you please join me in the saying of the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Now the high school chorus, under the direction of William Keneally, will sing America the Beautiful. The seniors to please join in the chorus. bring you greetings from the administration, I'd now like to present Dr.
Thank you, Mr. Lucas. And on behalf of the entire school system, including those teachers you had since kindergarten, I'm proud and pleased to congratulate the class of 1995. I'm also pleased to give a special welcome to your family, your friends, and the faculty who are with us today. all who, I believe, share with me the congratulations to you. Those parents, friends, and faculty also deserve a special thanks for all they have done to help you graduates reach this milestone. It has been a long road to this point, but those people helped you as you moved along it. Now we are proud of you for this achievement. While it seems such a short time ago that your parents sent you to school, you've committed 13 long years of hard work to reach this ceremony today, and you have achieved much. One of the best records of college acceptances ever in Marblehead and in the North Shore. State championship sports teams and impressive drama productions and art awards. Today, you're taking a major step forward into adulthood and responsibility, and we believe you have been well prepared for this step, and we're prepared to put the future confidently in your hands. We've left you an imperfect world, one with conflict and hate abroad, and sometimes at home, with a deteriorating environment. But if each of you, and the rest of us as well, will make a lifetime goal to leave this world a better place than we found it, that will happen. I'm pleased to congratulate you once again and wish you well on a long but successful road ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You've always been too good to me. I have to get my bearings here. One second. Sorry for the delay. Parents and honored guests, school committee members, faculty, honored graduates, thank you for the honor and the privilege of being here with you today. Thank you to my son, Bill, for if he were not born when he was, I would have never had the opportunity and the joy to accompany you on this journey. I have known some of you since kindergarten, some since 5th grade, most of you since 6th. And if the rest of you will bear with me and please forgive me for a while, this is my last chance to address this group as a class, and I need to focus on just 162 people. You don't have to hold your ears, but your energy scared many people. You were called the class from hell.
Next in our program, and unfortunately only because of the typographical error and not because we forgot to invite him to speak, is your class president, Mr. David Fleming.
Faculty, parents, friends, graduates, it's hard to believe the time to graduate is finally upon us. It seems like only yesterday the class of 1995 entered the high school, and now it is time for us to leave. Affectionately referred to as the class from hell upon entering as freshmen, we're now prepared to graduate, and the only comment people tend to make is that we will be sorely missed. It is astounding how so much can change in 4 years. A group of discontent, annoying, egocentric adolescents transformed into young adults who whom our community and parents can be proud of. I guess even the classroom hell realized that there was a time to mature. We just decided to postpone it as long as possible. As I sat down and began to ponder how I go about formulating my speech, I began to think of the great communicator, President Ronald Reagan. I can recall reading an article on public speaking by Mr. Reagan, and he stated that the fundamental rule of public speaking is don't try and talk in any special language. Talk as if you were just chatting with old friends in a barber shop.
Class of 95 has many leaders. You've heard one, the class president, another man who has demonstrated great leadership throughout his 4 years at the high school, will present the senior essay. It's my honor to present to you Mr. Seth Keller.
When William Shakespeare wrote his famous words, totus mundus agit histronium, meaning all the world is a stage, he was speaking not just to the actors and poets of history, nor was he addressing only the patrons of the arts that have, for centuries, spent countless nights in an imaginary city or country far away. He was speaking to a larger audience. He was speaking to all of us. Life, he taught us, is the biggest drama of all. As we stand here today, it is into this drama that we are about to enter. And though at times we may feel insignificant or unnoticed, we all have a role to play in this performance. As the old saying goes, there are no small parts, only small actors. One warm, sunny day in 1982, each member of the cast of 1995 was faced with the first challenge that he would encounter in his journey to this stage. Most actors would say it is the most frightening and nerve-wracking event that they have faced and periodically continue to face. To them, it is called an audition. To us, kindergarten. So, each dressed up in the new clothes that were bound to form the dreaded first impression. We said goodbye to our mothers and fathers and headed into the mob of 3-foot critics. This was our chance to shine, to convince our classmates that we indeed had what it took to be part of this cast. Some came with a baseball mitt, some with a Cabbage Patch Kid, some with a Star Trek phaser. But no matter what they brought along, they each brought their own personality and talents to contribute to this group. And despite all of the fads and phases that this class has endured during the past 12 years, these personalities have survived. In retrospect, it is hard to believe that the path to this stage has taken all of 18 years to navigate. And through the 120-month rehearsal period, our cast has changed. Some actors have departed, and some have joined.
It's a tradition that the senior class leave a gift to the school. Each year we are pleased with the gifts that are received. Since I don't know what this year's gift is, I'm looking forward to finding out. It's my honor now to present the class secretary, Allison Draves, who will present this year's gift.
On behalf of the class of 1995, it is with great pleasure that I present Marblehead High School with this year's class gift. In order to maintain the beauty of our school, the class of 95 will make a substantial contribution to continue the landscaping project at the high school campus. Thank you.
I've seen some of the senior class landscaping over the last few weeks. It has a nice touch to it. We thank you for that. I think also, seniors, at this time it might be appropriate to thank an individual who came forward when our class advisor moved to the middle school to become a teacher. We were without a senior class advisor. And I think a lot of the activities you did this year, although your leadership was certainly fine in doing it, could not have been done without your advisor. So I think since we presented the gift, I'd like to now thank Mr. Rod Picard, senior class advisor. recognize those students who have done exceptionally well and received special awards, as well as to announce this year's scholarship winners, which will be presenting you with awards for using towards your tuition in college. But before I do present that, I do feel this is my one last time as principal that I can have a chance to speak to you all. This is also the first time as principal that I have to use my glasses, so you may have changed, but I feel I've changed a little bit too here. I will keep my comments brief. Again, I do wish to take this time. First, commendations. This past week, you have shown the true spirit of the class of '95. Your yearbook, which was presented at the banquet, certainly is beautiful and has an excellent theme. And I will say that the yearbook is the one lasting memory of a high school. Anytime we want to find out about a class, we always go to the yearbook. Your yearbook will certainly serve very well as a record of your accomplishments. I want to thank Mr. Dana and his slideshow at the senior banquet for bringing that. Have some other pieces of advice, although I'll keep them short. Your distinguished speaker today, Mr. Joe McQuaid, I'm sure will give you wiser comments than mine. But I do want to say that you are living in a time of great change. Just in the 4 short years that you've been at Marblehead High School, you have seen changes in many ways, such as just the disseminating of information. Your class has been the first to be part of our satellite TV program, which has shown all of us that the world is greatly shrinking faster and faster. This year, we've gone on the information superhighway through email and internet, and though we've only begun, I think this is a sure sign of how things will be changing in the future for how we communicate and how we learn. You've seen the Ed Reform Bill passed by the state legislature. You are a class that's been affected by it. From being told that you can't smoke anywhere on campus, to being told that there are curriculum frameworks, that there will be mandatory testing, that teachers have tenure has been eliminated, that the school council role is very important in determining school policy. George, is most appropriate for you, and I urge you, as it says in the book, to always be curious. I won't give you much advice, although I do this every year at graduation because I really am a social studies teacher at heart. I urge you to do your civic duty at every election, be it town, state, or national election. I hope that you remember a few years ago, the people in South Africa were granted the right to vote for the first time. I can still see the news pictures of people waiting in line for up to 24 hours to cast their vote. Then I think of all the people in this country and even in this town who choose not to exercise that most precious right and to vote and in a sense an obligation. And now, if I could, if parents and friends would turn to their graduation program and just turn to the awards page. I will not read the names since these students have been recognized in our awards program, but I would like all the students who are listed on the Class of '95 award recipients to stand for a minute to be recognized by the audience. Award winners, please stand.
This will be different for each of us. However, we do have one thing in common. Most of us would like to achieve success. But what really is success? I wondered, and so I did what I would do for any project. I went to the library to research success. I found just what I needed, a book by Michael Korda entitled Success for Hunger. How about the students who have worked to get the internet into the school? These are my classmates. Many people who gave their time this year became further apparent on the first day of classes when there would be a frantic dash by the students eager to get the best seats. A few years ago, a student even admitted to stuffing a ballot box. Yes, I believe that a person who enjoys his coworkers' struggle and fears their success is the true failure. Finally, Mr. Korda advises that it's always okay to be rich. I feel this is a foolish statement because success and money are not always related. Success comes from ambition, kindness, and determination, but it cannot be bought. He gave everything he had to help his family, his friends,
been total strangers. Tom O'Connor took very little for himself because he was much more concerned with giving to others. I don't think that success can come from anything that you hold or own. A prestigious job, a great big house, or a red sports car don't indicate success. They just indicate wealth. I feel that success must come from what you have inside yourself and willingly share it to help others. Class of 1995, I encourage you to always strive for success. I'm still not completely sure what success is, but I am sure that being selfish, money-hungry, and self-centered will not get you to it.
But also for caring enough to help each of us excel in other fields as well. For his commitment, sense of humor, and for all of the reasons mentioned above, we have proudly dedicated our 1994-95 Curious George Yearbook to him. And now, I am greatly honored to introduce him to all of you as our guest speaker. He is our teacher, confidant, and friend. He is our man in the yellow hat, Mr. Joseph Lee.
I also want this photo of a wonderful time. I want to thank the school committee, the select committee, principal, my family, friends, parents, and most importantly, the class of 1995 for asking me to speak. And I would like to mention in particular a couple. I think there's a no name here. I want to thank Sue Skoglund, Sue Kiernan Skoglund. I want to thank Sherry Taylor Salzman for having faith in the high school and sending the kids here so I can teach them. There are other people, children in the class whose parents I had the pleasure of having as students. I want to thank Dave Peach, Jan Contour Atkins for sending their kids to Marlborough High School. But of course, if your name's Peach or Atkins, where else would you go? You can't get past the lead mills. Sometimes you run past tense comments. So. It is a great singular honor for me to speak to you today. I'm deeply touched to even think that I possess words of wisdom. As a matter of fact, I look for a quick wisdom fix. I went to Shakespeare and the Bible. According to Mr. Lucas. So, the bell rang, he said, and I also feel it's very tough to follow people who've spoken before. I feel like I'm batting cleanup, but nothing to clean up for me. But here I am. I have Henry's problem. I get it earlier. When you turn 50, everything has to go a little awry. I may not need these. I'll try. Even without. Even without. Just the right distance. Over 100 years ago, Walt Whitman wrote, "Science is a limitless voyage of joyous explorations." It still is that limitless voyage.
As principal, I'm always very proud of all our programs at the high school. I very often feel that we are not only the Marblehead High School, but we're the Marblehead High School of the Arts. I thank first our band for being here today and for all their work this year. As they're preparing, I just want to thank Reverend Potter over here, the Old North Church, for generously donating your bells for this afternoon's performance. Thank the Old North Church for their generosity.
The text to the Bells of Rimby was written by a young Welsh coal miner, Idris Davis, shortly after what he called the angry summer of 19 1926. There had been a general strike in Britain, which was unsuccessful. Mr. Davis left coal mining, went to school for 4 years, and became a teacher. His poem has long been a source of hope, with its message ringing powerfully above the trials and tribulations of our lifetime.
Taken and will be contacted about that. Today's presentation of the diplomas is something special. When the senior graduation committee met and wanted to talk about the program for today, it was suggested that 2 members of the school committee who both retired this last May, that they be the people to present the diplomas. One is Marcia Sweeney, who has served on the committee for 18 years, worked with these students throughout their career from kindergarten to senior year, and they felt it most appropriate, Marcia, that you present some of them with their diplomas. And they also felt that the other gentleman, who has served 12 years on the committee, basically was also with the students from kindergarten to senior year, was Mr. Ed Clisby, who served as chair of the committee. And so, for that reason, Ms. Sweeney and Mr. Clisby, the class of '95, is honored that you have joined us today to present them with their diplomas. Thank you for coming. All right, we'd like to have Mr. McGuire come forward, and Mr. Miller will move the microphone a little bit, and in about 2 minutes we will be presenting the class of '95. Andrea Shavara. Tyler Nathaniel Doyle. Todd A. Longan. Bennett Melissa Beth Foley. Melissa C. Knight. Anna A. Denisenko. Arian Lee. Erin Janelle McGrath. Elizabeth Regina Anderson. Timothy S. Atkins. Nicole Elizabeth Marie Damari. Nate Felix Fajon. Winship. And Lee A. Weisenberg. Thank you, Mr. Lisby. Faculty members, if you would please join over this way, please.
Поля, мы тебя поздравляем с этой знаменательной датой и желаем тебе всего самого доброго, самого хорошего. Сейчас мы будем фотографироваться, и меня тоже будет видно в этой самой